because a lot of people, they get so focused on the technical parts of doing Facebook advertising, right? When in reality, in Argentina, you said this earlier, it's less about the technical setup of Facebook ads, and it has everything to do with the offer. Like seriously, like the offer is literally 80% of what the work of the ads, right? We can put the best offer and think about this, like whenever Nike and all of these big brands, they're not doing targeting on a television, right? They're just running it to everyone. It's a great freaking offer. And so today I just want to take one step back, because all of our Facebook ads are going to begin and end with the offer. And here's the thing, the offer is what's going to make your ads scalable. I see so many people who are able to sell to their warm audience day in and day out, but then once they go to the ice cold audiences for Facebook ads, it just doesn't convert, and it's because their offer isn't scalable. It's because they're not crystal clear. So I'm gonna share my screen, and I want you guys to tell me, and we're just gonna start with creative, like the visual. What is the one thing that all of these creatives, by the way, these are like my best, I pulled all of my best performing creatives from the last 7 days. What is the similarity between all of these creatives?
You can tell right away what the offer is just by a quick look. 97, 300, run ads.
They're very bold and they look like ads.
What's front and center?
Oh,
I think people are in center, and I think numbers, I think throughout your top 4, I think had numbers as in focus.
But what is the offer all focused on?
In a result.
Yes, bingo, the result. All of these ad like are focused on the result that people can actually get, right? Because what is the very first challenge that we have whenever we're placing our ads? What is that very first challenge?
To get through them of a problem that they have that we can.
What's the very first thing that we have to do?
Oh, get them to stop.
Yep. And what is the one thing that you guys notice about all of my ads?
The colors, the bang, the
big, bold
letters, right? Colors.
Big, bold letters. Big, blocky, just attention, attention getting, before they even read the offer, you could scroll through this. You could see how people are just like stopping the scroll, right? And too many times, like people want to go with like I'll use Brandon as the perfect example. Brandon likes to send me his own ad creatives, and he likes to send me his own ad copy. And there's nothing wrong with his creatives and stuff like that. His brand colors are yellow and navy blue. And so whenever we're testing his ad creatives against mine always get more people's attention, because I think outside of the box. I think outside of the branding. I think outside of because my first job is to get people's attention. So so what we're actually working on for you guys, I'm going to see if my assistant has added some more, but I've already started, and this is going to be something that I'm going to add inside the premium program, my Google Drive, of as I'm building out all of these ads, so that you guys can just have access to my Photoshop files, make them your own. I'm pretty sure there's pexels.com, I think, that'll let you take Photoshop files and move them around for free if you have the base file. So I was like, let me just give my students all of my templates for all of these ads, just so that you guys could actually play around with them. But the first thing that we have to do is we have to get people's attention. And I know that this was brought up, I think, yesterday. Facebook no longer has that rule that 20% text. Now you can have as much text on an ad as possible. So the next thing that we're going to work on, and some of you guys who've been in my program a while has seen me go through this exercise. What makes a good offer versus a great offer, right? And so I know this morning, me and Risha, right? That's how you say your name? Did I say it right?
Yeah, it's like rich, poor, rich, and richa.
Richa, I like that. That's very, very beautiful. So everyone meet Risha. Richa. And her and I were actually talking about this morning, and I was showing her the difference between a less than good offer, not saying that they're bad offers or anything like that, because how many times have you guys seen an ad for Instagram mastery or awakening your spiritual powers, manifesting mastery, flexibility challenge, right? Those are all things that we see all the time. But what is the difference between a good offer and a freaking like fantastic, amazing offer, right? Like awakening your spiritual power or how to connect with your spirit guide. What do you think is more likely to convert? Instagram mastery or how to get your first 1,000 followers with a 10-minute a day strategy, right? So many of us are so focused on the name of our product. And so a lot of people want to put the name of their product on their thing, but that is not the reason that people buy. People are very results focused. And so we're going to actually go through this because I want today's session to almost kind of be like a co-working session. Let's test each other's offers and see if we can give feedback for each other. But this is a book that you guys hear me reference a lot. It's called Breakthrough Advertising. This book was actually written in 1966. And it's funny, this weekend I started rereading this book because I read it, first of all, when I first started my journey in television. This was one of the books that was recommended for me because I wrote headlines, right? And this is Eugene Schwartz. He was an expert at writing direct mail advertising. This is how, like, he talks about writing on a typewriter and all. This is how old this freaking book is. And then I read it again whenever I started my online marketing journey, and I am rereading it again because every time I read it, it brings me new things that I can take from it. And this page right here really stuck out to me. And I was like, you know what? This is something that I really need to teach my students because this is perfect for writing ads. And he says your first task when deciding like to write an ad, he's talking about direct mail ads. So your first task in studying your product is to list the number of different performances it contains and group these performances based on desires that your ideal prospect wants. Okay. And he uses a car, he calls it an automobile, as an example. He's like, people want cars for different reasons, but figuring out which of those reasons has the biggest audience that matches the desire. Is it the desire for transportation? Is it the desire for dependability? Is it economy, like the cheapest car? The horsepower that's in that car, right? The recognition that car is going to give you, right? If you drive a fancy car, the recognition that comes along with it. Which car has the best value? Which one is offering them the best novelty, right? So all of these desires can make up an ad for an automobile, but figuring out which of the greatest desire is that prospect looking for? Is it because they're looking for a car for value, right? And so when we think of this in a way, like let's use my $7 program as an example, right? People want it for dependability, right? Because they can see my strategy, show up to the calls and know that what they're doing is correct, right? Value, it's only $7 a month, right? So you guys see where I'm going with this? And so all of these, if I just go list economy, desirability, novelty, all of these different things, I can come up with 5 to 6 different hooks that are going to get totally different people. And so it's not just about how to run your ads for $7 a month, but, know exactly when you're placing your ad, do you want to know if you've done it right or not, right? That's one angle. How to run your own ads for $7 a month. Join a community of other people who are building ads and get feedback, right? All of these are different offers that I can use to promote my $7 program. And then because a lot of people are like, well, my ad's tired. Like I've reached that, reached everything, all of the people that are going to buy with this. Then you just go to the next desire, right? That first desire is seeing how much of a desire is within that audience, right? When your audience is looking at your offer, all of them are going to want it for different reasons, right? Reasons are desires. And so the key is testing all of them at one time, seeing which desire is getting the most hits, price per acquisition, exploiting that audience and that offer, moving on to the next. And so instead of relying on one offer with that one audience, you open yourself up to having like 5 or 6 different hooks to reach that same audience without having to test audiences all the time. Does that make sense? And so today, I want to just like kind of talk about, and we can like work through these things. I know Argentina, you were like, I'm going to start working on, like my offers. And so I thought that I would open up the floor today and just kind of, jam with you guys and see like, what is your offer? Like, does it have scalability, or is it just going to reach a very small portion of people? And then you're going to have to move on to something else, right? Because so many people like want to scale like something like Instagram Mastery. And it's like, that will only scale so much. We want them to see the picture in your ad and say, I want that. Like we want them to make that buying decision before they even get to our sales page. And that's why whenever we're taking them from the ad to the sales page, that's why I always tell you guys above the fold, that's where people make their decision to buy. It's not in the features and all of that other stuff. That decision is in that headline. And so that's why we want that headline on the ad to be congruent with the headline that's on that sales page. Because I see so many people that are just using ads as clickbait to get people to the offer, and people don't know. There's 3 questions. There's 3 questions that our sales page needs to answer above the fold. 1, who am I? 2, why am I here? And 3, what result will I get if I move forward? That all needs to be above the fold. As soon as you hit that page, that is what's going to make your offer scale. It's not about the ad spend and all of that. It's more or less, is your offer scalable? Are you being specific on what you're offering?
When you talk about scaling, is that when you find a winning ad with a headline and offer and everything, is just adding more money or expanding to other audiences, or what is it?
It's a very good question. So here's what I do, and this is my entire process. So I'll go back to Brandon, right? So Brandon and I are running an ad for a live workshop that he's doing. This learn how to get 4 new coaching clients every single month was just one of 5 different offers that we tested. We tested I'll build your funnel with you in the next 3 days, how to enroll your first 10 online coaching clients per month, learn how to get 4 new coaching clients every single month. We literally just tested all at one time. Let me let Arturo in. We just literally tested. I did the 5 by 5 by 3. And I just was like, and I put a different ad in each. Like I did 5 of the same ad set because I know my online coaching audience, right? Like me and Brandon share the audiences. And so I literally just ran a lookalike to my purchases and his purchasers. And I literally like did 5, same ad set, and all of those different ad creatives with different offers, and saw which one people bid on the most. And obviously learn how to get 4 new coaching clients was the winner, because you could see how we did it in a different way. Right here, I can't believe this is only $97. How to get 4 coaching clients every single month. This one, build a magnetic client getting machine, live 3-day workshop. Learn how to get 4. We saw that 4 coaching clients every single month was the hook that people wanted, and so we just cranked out different looking creatives. So now that's what we chose to move on to. So once we find a winner, we just crank out different ad variations, like different designs and different ad copy that talks to the people who want to get 4 new coaching clients every month. Because once we have the hook, it's like, okay, well, why do they want to get 4 new coaching clients every month? Is it because they're a brand new business? Is it because they already have an established business and their funnel's not converting? Now you see how we've got the hook. Now it's like, okay, let's create all of these ad variations based on a winning offer. And so that's how we get the scalability, is because now we've got a proven offer. Now we're just making all the different ad variations based on that creative. Then once that burns out, guess what we're going to do? The next best hook, go to that, create all of those different ad variations on that, test those, and keep going to the next. So we're literally following the formula that he wrote for direct mail response, right? It's the same. It's a strategy that's worked for, oh my gosh, decades and decades. It's just knowing exactly what that offer is, and are people willing to pay for it.
When you do ad variations, is it just the copy that you?
It's creative and copy.
Creating and copy. Okay.
So like how to get your four new coaching clients this month, right? We're gonna, like I showed you guys 2 of the creatives right there. I'm gonna crank out 5 or 6 different creatives that just look totally different. They all are gonna have, but the one thing that's gonna remain the same is how to get those 4 coaching clients, right, this month. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think about, okay, if I want 4 new coaching clients, or if I want 4 coaching clients this month, why do I want that? One, maybe I'm a new coach and I'm like, okay, these are going to be my first 4 clients. 2, maybe I'm an existing coach and I'm having problems getting more clients because my funnel sucks, right? 3, maybe I want coaching clients because I'm looking to start my own agency and hire new, other coaches or something like that. And so you start to think about like, what are all the different reasons as to why people would want 4 new coaching clients this month? Then crank out some other creatives, and then build all of your ad campaigns around that one hook.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, that's giving me so much clarity about what I have to do, because really the reasons that why women want to do a boudoir session, I have them very well identified. Pretty much everybody want to feel beautiful and confident, but then the reason behind it is, I always struggle with my weight. I'm getting old. My husband cheated. I'm newly divorced and I'm ready to start my life.
See, those are all different ad variations on the same offer.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Different ad copy, but same offer. Your boudoir photography offer.
Okay. Yeah, right now the only thing because again, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But the offer that has always, worked for me, and I'm insist that there's gotta be something else. But right now for me, it's just registered to win a free session, because as I said, nobody wakes up that morning in order to buy a session that day. It's very,
right. But they are raising their hands that they would
right.
do it. That's the first thing is are they going to do it? Because now you have 12,000 people who have raised their hands saying, yes, I would do a boudoir session. Now we've just got to leave them breadcrumbs in order to help them make the decision. Why have they not moved forward yet? Is it because of money? Do we need to offer them a payment plan? Is it because, they're just not in a position to do that? What do they need to be more educated? Do they think that, what are the 4 myths of boudoir photography that are keeping, women who are qualified from doing it, or stuff like that? And so it's our job, because my example a while ago, I've got a huge chunk of my audience that has still not bought my $7 program. I need to focus on why have they not bought my program. You need to focus on, you've got 12,000 women who raise their hand saying, I would love a free boudoir session. They've already admitted they want it. So what kind of breadcrumbs can we leave them in the form of ads that are going to help them get closer to that decision?
So since they're on my mailing list, would you recommend, the same strategy, put it in retargeting ads, emails, those 2 things, and even texting marketing?
Absolutely. I would try my best to re-engage a portion of those, because if you've got 12,000 women who have already, one, you have the email, right? But 2, let's re-engage them with some ads. Let's try to figure out and I would do a mix of the 2. I would almost do, the audience builder strategy, but do it to where it's you're re-engaging them with those top 3 pieces of power content and those 5 ads at the bottom, or pushing them to book a call with you for a session to see if they would be a good fit. So you have a row of videos, the first layer of videos, just re-engaging them with really good content. And then those 5 videos, if they watch any of those 3 videos, pull them through the 5. Now the 5 doesn't have to necessarily be videos, but one of those 5, all of those 5 ads need to be pushing them to make that next move in your funnel. That is to book a call and see if a free session would be, not a free session. Well, I guess a free session, right? Because you get them in with the free session and then you upsell them all of the other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, when it's really, I found it to be really good for what I do, because again, they're not ready, but when they get the email that they want the session, it's just an amazing catalyst. It's I would have never done it by myself if it wasn't because I wanted. I would have never actually taken action. I've been procrastinating. So I tell them that I'm doing them a service.
And maybe telling them, and I don't know if you do this, but anytime that you have a session with a woman, maybe sit down like a little candid interview and just be like, what finally made you make that decision to finally jump in and do it, right? Because a lot of times people are just waiting. They don't want to be first.
Yeah.
They just want to hear like someone else's story could inspire them to do it themselves. And so I think just really like running a row of content that is specifically, you know, targeted to those 12,000 people. If they are engaging with any one of those 3 videos, push them through to the free sessions, but there's different content that are booking them, right? It's almost like that you're using power content and then people who are watching the power content, the hot 7 to get them to that free. That's what I would do. And it's really easy because you're working with an audience of people who already raised their hand. So you've got your audience there.
Yeah, I've done several interviews after the sessions, and I have a collection of about 15 interviews that I made, even as slideshows. That they're the interview, and then as they're talking, I'm having their pictures once they're retouched and all that, and I just can't use those for a Facebook ad because there's a lot of you know, skin exposure. Oh, which is, you know, pretty interesting. I'm starting to get a lot of other boudoir studios Facebook ads in my feed. And they are, I think Facebook also lowered down their tightness on skin exposure because their ads were the lady, I mean, they're not completely like in just bras and panties, but it's definitely more than it used to be before. And yes, I got targeted by one photographer from Dallas and another one here from Austin, Texas. And I mean, the photographer, they're terrible. They're really terrible. It's like, okay.
So what is the offer? So what is the offer that what is your one line?
Fill a questionnaire so we can send you an invitation to be part of our.
What is the offer? What is the result? Remember, we just had a whole 20 minutes of talking about it's the offer, right? At the end of the day. So what is the offer? You've got 12,000 people raise their hand saying they want a boudoir session. What is the offer that's going to reel them in?
You mean for my clients? Yeah. Well, I think it's a lot of them is timing, but a lot of them definitely is finances.
But what is the offer? What are you offering them? What is their result?
The result.
That's what you see. That's what we just spent. This is what we have to figure out. What line?
I think it's transform your self-esteem in just few hours.
That's a good so this session will transform your self-esteem in just 60 minutes.
I would even use a different word than transform. Transform is very vague. Maybe it would be like skyrocket or you know, turn it upside down or
I love skyrocket your self-esteem in 60 minutes. I love that.
Yeah. It's better than transform. It's very vague.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Dara, you can invoice her for, you know, for branding.
A bill there.
Well, it helps though, because I think what I find when I'm writing these kinds of pages is what comes out at first is generic. Like I never use the showy words in my first draft. And then I'm like, okay, which words are going to make this jump off the page and draw someone in? And that, you know, that's the first word, transform. Transform is vague. It's like, take your business to the next level. It's like so bland, but it's like a starting point. And then you're like, okay, what does next level mean? And so on. So I think that's just my own process for sure.
Yeah. Richa, since you and I were talking about this morning, because she's got one. And so I told her to bring it today and see if it would stand the test of our critiques. So you want to share that with them? Yeah,
so I just dropped it in the chat also, and so I'm just starting. My list is 0, so it's like please be as heartless as you can, but I just want to nail the offer, and the intention is that it has to be an impulse buy. So I'm pricing it at $27, and ultimately my aim is to have a membership. Right now, what I'm thinking of is running a mini virtual retreat. It would be for 90 minutes. And I'm saying a mini virtual retreat on how to de-stress and reconnect with your inner self. So does it sound like something that one would buy on impulse? My ideal client would be women aged 34 who are financially independent, and they're looking for something for a purposeful, for their own purpose. They know in their guts that they're meant to do something bigger, and they want to know what. So I feel that given my past experience in India, I feel the first step is always believing in themselves. So that's why I connect.
So a little bit about her. She actually has a successful offer in India, and now she's scaling it to the US.
Yeah.
So this is where I thought that we could all help her, because obviously we're all kind of in her. I mean, I'm not a single woman, but I am in her target, of wanting to do that. So I just thought that this would be a good time for all of us to test all of our stuff on everything and giving back feedback. Dara said she just kind of like turned it around and just said, de-stress and reconnect with your inner self at iConnect, a mini virtual retreat. It's $27. Who's in? I would even go as far as like trying to work in who it's for.
Okay.
Something that I noticed and I don't know if this text is like for you to use to sell it, but I would never lead with the container. So I wouldn't lead with the 1-page focus plan, because nobody's buying a plan, they're buying the result. Or a one-on-one session, they're not buying, like whatever it is, it's like, this is why I reworded it, because I'm not buying the virtual retreat, I'm buying the de-stressing and reconnecting with my inner self. The format, the container, isn't the thing that I'm buying. So whenever I'm reading someone else's copy, and it's so natural for all of us to say, it would be like me leading and saying, I have a course. No, I don't have a course. I'm going to help you with your productivity by blah, 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 blah. So it's just, it's contrary to the way we speak, I think.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
So what is an example like of someone who would go through this? Like, can you give me a little bit more of an example of like someone who's gone through this, like where they were and then where they were after your retreat?
So the ladies who joined, they were not necessarily single. In fact, they were married, even had grandchildren, few of them, and they varied from age 18 to 60 years old. So what they are looking for is, that reason to wake up the next morning. What gives purpose to my life? Am I destined to just be born and then die one day and not be remembered ever? So it's more like these ladies would be already maybe into meditation or breathing exercises, or they're already questioning what is that higher purpose in life. And because they don't know me, and so for $27, I felt that maybe this was, let's first just, so I run through, I have a very interactive live session, something very similar to what we're having right now. But then I have something called breakup rooms that we have in Zoom. And then they interact with each other, because I've realized that women tend to open up in front of strangers because they don't have the fear of being judged. So the whole setup is working. But ladies who are most likely to join would be someone who's looking for finding meaning in her life.
Because I just find like that's such a like big, like what we were talking about, like transformation, right? It's kind of like one of those big, I think, and this is going to be the challenge, and this is the challenge with offers that are going to go to scale. We have to define what that actually means for the person that you're trying to sell it to.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Like, what is it like if they reconnect with their inner self, what is that going to bring for them?
They just start feeling confident about themselves, and that's why then this once you are confident about who you are, and then the next step would be, okay, let me do what I think I'm capable of doing. And that's why I was thinking the bump order to be a 1-page focus plan.
Let's just talk about that first offer, right? Because it's a challenge just coming up with something for that first offer, because I just feel like it's not giving me enough information about what I'm going to get if I pay you $27. Like, I feel like we need to define that. What does it mean reconnecting with my inner self? Like, what does that mean for the person that you're trying to attract to this workshop, right? It's kind of like how we were just talking about transformation with Argentina. It's such a bold term. That's going to be your challenge with this workshop, is like really, and this is just something in that spiritual self-awareness space that most coaches have the hardest time doing this. And this is literally 80% of the battle is right here within this one line that is going to.
True. I don't know. So you're saying that instead of how to de-stress and reconnect, I should say.
So let's go back to the grandmothers, right? That took your course. What did they achieve in the time that they spent with you during this live event? Like they were wondering like who they were and all of that. What were they able to do after going to that? What did they get clarity on?
The grandmothers in India, I'm running something called Clarity and Focus Retreat. So I help them first identify who they are at their core, and the second, what the bigger vision in life is. And this is a depending on how many hours, so 2 to 3 days retreat of 2 hours each every day. So they would walk away knowing who they are at their core. Once you know who you're at your core, it becomes easier to understand why I behave like this and not like this. And the confidence to say that, okay, I think I can, whatever, maybe skydive at the age of 72, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Or someone like a mother who's like fully dedicated on taking care of her children, and she said, I'm postponing my dreams of becoming a baker. And then in our session we realized there's no reason why she needs to postpone it, and she can start taking small steps every single day. And now she's doing pretty well in her sourdough bread making business.
I like that, because especially like how you like, I almost feel like, and this is not it, I'm just like, but just vomiting like just ideas out, but it's almost like like finding a new passion for what you've been dreaming about, or like something like that, like rediscover, reignite your passions, or like God, it was like on the tip of my tongue as we were talking this out. But it's like, do you see how like that's more of like an end result, like fall in love with your dreams all over again? Not that, but you get where I'm going with that, like reigniting passion, for whatever your life's purpose is, something like that. Like that gives me a little bit more of like that end result versus, how to reconnect with your inner self, right?
Can I
means so much, but it's like, reigniting, your dreams, like not that, but I'm struggling to kind of find that's what makes it hard about like these types of offers. But if we're able to tangibly define the result, you will be like, your offer will sell over all of the other offers that are offering the same thing.
And does saying get a clear vision of your purpose-driven goals, does it sound vague?
I think it's huge that you're reigniting some type of passion that used to be there, and you're bringing it back to life. I think that's what your retreat's encompassing, right? Because these are people who you wanted to go skydiving, and then somehow they lost themselves in becoming who they are as an adult, and then you're reigniting what they had in the past and bringing it back to the forefront. So I think just finding a way, and I know Amanda's a teacher. Amanda, do you have any thoughts on this? Because I know you're really good with words.
I think you have to find catchy things that people in America will relate to. So what your audiences in your country are feeling and what they're looking for will be different than when you're coming to the American market. So like I also I've never meditated before, and I'm probably your target audience in America, like looking to inner self or look at myself. I personally wouldn't take a workshop that really appealed to more of a different type of religious style, but more of like purpose and passion and reigniting. So like purpose, passion, inner self, that wouldn't appeal to me. So I just think being careful with choice of words and what the outcome and the goal, what Laurel's coaching you to get to the end goal of what you're looking for, so that you're appealing to a broader audience.
So Amanda, how does this sound? Like I was just saying that get a clear vision of your purpose-driven goal. Does that look like too much for a $27 workshop or too big a promise?
It just depends what activities you're leading people through. So you got to look through your content. So like in that workshop, what exactly are the activities? What are the discussions going to be like? And then get the keywords from those areas of instruction and then bring them into what the offer is going to be. So like being careful to message, like if I sign up for this, what am I going to get from it as a white woman from California? What will happen? Being careful like that it's going to be very explicit what exactly you're looking for.
Yeah, but at the end of it, people do get clarity on the purpose-driven goals. So I'm saying, is that all right to say? But I mean,
I think you have to, I think maybe because is this people who are trying to figure out what their goals are, or is it someone who had goals at one time, dumped them for life? Because those are two totally different offers, right? Like, so
yes, Laurel, to your point, it is people always know what their dream goals are, but they're too scared to say it aloud. I help them to believe in themselves that they can do it.
Gotcha.
And in the whole process, then they own up, yes, this is my dream. And now I'm confident that even when the end is not clear, I'm okay to take my first step.
Okay. That's a lot clearer, because I think I got lost whenever you were talking about grandmothers who wanted to go skydiving and then they like ignored it for a couple of years. Because I mean, I honestly think that those are three different variations of different desires of people who will want your, so you're getting a couple of different variations on your offer. But I think that creating, and this is going to sound very technical, but what is like the framework? What is the tangible thing that you're taking people, like the tangible journey to that tangible result? And I think that that's where you're going to have trouble. But what you have here is not bad. We can test this. We're just trying to, right? Because who knows? If you put it out to, because it's really easy to target people who are very mindful and self-aware and all of that, that they might see this, and that might be an audience that you could exploit while you are working on the scalability of the offer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So now I'm just thinking that should I, so just for the $27, I decided to have the de-stress and reconnect with your inner self. But like Amanda is saying that it would be more, it is easier to go for something where it is promised that get a clear vision of your purpose-driven goal. So should I go directly for that? But then $27 is too less an amount for the result that I'm giving.
Yep. So let me show you guys how, like, because I think that like when you guys see me, like, just I'm a very visual person. So as we're testing these, right? Pretend that these are like ad creatives, right? Start with 5. So this is what me and Brandon did, right? Like, so the first one that you have is reconnect with your inner self, right? So this one would be reconnect with your inner self, right? And then you have like $27, and then you have whatever image, right? Then you could be like, then the second, right? We're just testing the offer. Then you have like, a second one that we were just talking about, like, and again, just making stuff up just for the example, but reignite your dreams, blah, blah, blah. $27. And then you have, another one, $27, right? You're going to run all 5 of these to the same audience and see which one gets the better click-through rate, right? Because then like, if this one right here gets the better click-through rate, then you shelf all of those for right now. And then you work on the different variations in ad copy and different variations in image copy for this one. So that's how I go through the testing process. Like with Brandon, we didn't know if people were going to respond to get your 4 new coaching clients this month. We tested 5 different hooks for that. And then I ran ads to all, like the same audience, I ran to all 5 of those ads. And I just watched which ones were heading towards conversions and which one had the highest click-through rate. The get how to get 4 new coaching clients next month was the hook that won. And so I shelved all of these other ones and focused on different variations and different ad like drawings that all supported this one hook. And then I did the 5x3 campaign that I teach you guys in the liquidator and in the lead generator with that one. So that's how we started with just testing the offer, then to testing all of the audiences and the ad variations and all of that stuff. Does that make sense? So that's what I would do is I would just get 5 different, like headlines before you even test anything else. Which ad is getting more clicks, and then go with that.
Okay, but Laurel, in both the cases, the exercises that I'll be doing inside and the result outcome I'm promising are different.
Well, it's all going to be the same thing, right? It's all with reconnecting. It all has to be like it's 5 different ways to say the same thing.
Yeah. So
you're just pulling out 5 different things from your workshop and just testing 5 different hooks, right? Like for instance, like my $7 program, I could test how to run ads for less than $5 a day, right? If people buy my $7 program, they're gonna learn how to do that. If they'll learn how to run their own ads for $7. They'll also get live Zoom coaching calls with a Facebook ads expert, right? Those are all different variation. Like those are all different offers that I could test to see which is going to get the more clicks to my offer, and then create different ad variations off of that. But we first have to test that offer. That's the thing, is like we don't know what offer is going to work best for you yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Like whenever we launched like Brandon's thing, we weren't focused on what his landing page was going to say. We were more or less just looking at which of the ads hooks people were clicking on. And then we based his landing page off of the hook that people were clicking on with the ads, and then cranked out more ad pictures and then ad copy, and then got people to that offer. That's how we like figured that out. Don't overthink it though. Like just think like what are the 5 different reasons as to why people are going to join your program? Are you looking to find clarity so that you feel? So what are they? So it says, are you looking to find clarity so that you feel fulfilled in work in life? We need to define that. Like who's this for, right? Who are we talking to?
Okay. So this is the ad. I didn't realize I was in mute. This is the ad I had run in India, and it was a higher ticket offer. And this had got me conversions in India. Like higher ticket offer as in like higher than $27, not a higher. And so this is the language that I saw people had connected. But like I guess I understand what Amanda is saying, that I have to take the cultural reference into consideration.
People in India, country full of spiritual awakening, right? Like you guys are like super awoke compared to us. Now there are Americans who are super awoke. I mean, I consider myself awoke in so many levels, but I would still not know if this is for me or not. It has to be like that it's just that one, and that's what's hard, is just finding that one line that's going to make me see this ad and say, this is me, and I need to click on this ad and see what this is about.
And so when I'm drafting, should I keep in mind that I'm drafting it for a $17 offer?
Don't think of the price. Like, don't even like right now, like the price is just like something different. Like what is people are going to buy it for the price, but what is the first thing that's going to get your attention, right? Like that ad that I was showing you guys how to do the splits in 4 weeks. Very, very simple, right? Like that's so crystal clear. And that's what we need to especially like when we're like in this like space, it's more important to be able to articulate what exactly I'm going to get if I get $27? If I give you $27, what am I getting in return? What is inner, like, what define like inner self, like define, like, you know, because like if I say something like this, like in the next 60 minutes, I'm gonna help you reignite the dreams that you've been keeping in the vault for the last 20 years. It's a little bit more definitive, right? I have an idea of what I'm gonna get if I pay $27. So kind of keep that in mind. It's like, if I give you $27, what am I gonna get back? And also remember, this is a $27 workshop. We can't transform and you know, get their whole life back in a $27 product too. So you might be thinking even too big.
Yeah.
Rich, I work with mostly women 50 and up. And what I hear very often is that for the last 20, 30 years, they have been focusing in raising kids, in marriage, in their parents, you know, they come to me because they decide it's enough. Now it's time for me. And they pretty much tell me that they don't know what they want. Now that they're free, now that the kids are gone, now that they're divorced or reconnect with their marriage, you know, they don't know what they want. They're lost. They don't have their purpose. They don't know what they want. But what they do know is that they want to live life to the fullest. They just don't know what it's going to look like. So you could use headlines like rediscover your purpose for the next 50 years of your life in 3 days.
Sorry, come again. Did I rediscover your purpose?
Your purpose in life for the next 50 years or 20 years in the next 3 days, something like that. But I'm just telling you because that's my audience, and that's when they come to the retreats with me, I pretty much have them, you know, work on and just thinking. I mean, I don't do anything like what you do. I do photography, but I do challenge them to make a list of the things that make them happy and how we can, you know, envision a life in the next 20 to 30 years. What would it look like? What do you want to do? Is it travel? Is it volunteering? Is it finding a loving relationship? You know, and think a lot on during that retreat. Think a lot about what would it look like? Can you know, so that they can do it on themselves, because I don't do what you do. But
I think you're trying to fit everything. Because like to Argentina's point, I think you're trying to solve a whole bunch of problems for so many people with this one thing. And X actually had a really good way that I could explain this. So he says that it makes him think of his mom, who's always wanted to be more into her artistic side. She's been on and off with jewelry store, but hesitates to expand her passion because she's afraid of success, mostly because great success follows with great failure, social media trolls and judgment from peers and all that stuff. Whenever I read that, it made me think of exactly who this is for, because if you were coming up with a thing to her to move forward, it would probably be like, you know, in 60 seconds, you know, 3 steps to dropping your fear of scaling your business and doing what you really want to do, right? I think you're trying to have this like one blanket offer for so many different types of people. Whereas if you focus on whether it's teachers or focus on entrepreneurs, all of them are going to define getting their inner self in a very different way. So I think you can think about like, who am I really trying to attract? And like to, you know, Dara and X's point, where are they in that awareness phase? Do they know that they have a problem and they're actively looking for that solution? Or you get what I'm saying, to where I think you're trying to have a one size fits all, when I think you're going to have an easier time. Like if you are like think of it like your grandma's, right? It was easy to say, you know, grandma's, you know, lost sight of your passion. In the next 60 minutes, I'm going to help you get back to, you know, your bucket list that you started 40 years ago, right?
Yeah,
very,
nice.
very
Yeah,
defined.
yeah.
So I think you have to find like what that specific audience is. And that's why we're all having trouble, because we're trying to encompass this big audience into this one little box.
Well, and one thing is that even when she's trying to be too wide, I noticed that she said that it's too much to give for $27, but that could be the entry to something more expensive, like the $7 program that lead to the premium program. And then the person could be more specific and receive a lot more in detail help to reach the goal that they want or whatever. That could be a continuation of the service that she provides with the what she's offering with the $27 retreat.
Yeah, oh, nice. I like that. Thank you. So what you're saying is that even though I feel cheated in giving too much in a too less amount, that I should remember it's just an entry point for me to just scale from here and forward.
Yep.
Sure.
And like then you're super clear on who is this for.
Yeah.
This is for grandmothers who had kids and grandchildren and their bucket list got dropped off somewhere in 1973, and now you're going to help them in 60 minutes, like literally find a new passion for their old bucket list, you know?
And in fact, I feel that X has just defined my ideal client. So, I was like kind of quickly scribbling when you said that busy moms or moms initially you had said in today's session, and that fear of dropping your fear. Did you say that?
Yeah. So he was talking about, and by the way, this is recorded, so you'll be able to, so you don't have to frantically take notes. But what he was saying was his mom is actually, she's very artistic. And she's afraid to go all in on her business online because she's scared of what comes with the success, like the internet trolls and, you know, like all of the people, her peers and family, what they're going to think of her. And so for someone like her, it could be a workshop on like getting rid of those fears and helping her move forward so that she can grow her business.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you just have to find like that one group of people that you want to help, because you could take this one workshop, duplicate the funnel and run it to, you know, different niches. That's easy to do.
Yeah.
And if I could add one small thing, something that in terms of niching down your audience more, I forgot who was talking, but if you try to market this to like an American-born person, I think it would hit less than people who are born abroad, because when I think of, you know, advertisements that will work for me as an American born person, it's like, yeah, you can do it, like take your passion, like go for it, this is definitely possible. But with my mom, who has been raised more traditionally from an Asian household, it's like, well, this is my path towards life, and to do something out of the norm, it just would not sit well. It's just something that is not my path in life. So I would just be curious, like, do you want to market more towards like an American-born audience, or more towards an audience that is foreign, where you're like, hey, this is definitely something that you can do. The American dream is still alive, and you know, if you want to do this, here's how I can help you get past I'd say just the fear of stepping outside the bounds and just like making those small mistakes that we tend to magnify bigger than they actually are.
Really good feedback today.
Yeah.
And this is like I know this is a lot to take in, but just sit down like with a Google Doc, or sit down like I have my freaking whiteboard over there that I scribble all kinds of bad ideas, but I always scribble down bad ideas to get to the good ideas. Like I would just like literally just start listing like different, like Amanda, just different promises. Like if someone comes to my thing, what is the outcome? And start thinking about your audiences. Like I'm willing to guess that you'll probably have a whole bunch of like different hooks that you can test, and you could do it very inexpensively. Like literally just use the landing page that you have now. Just run a $5 test, right? Like you could do $5 against, so do $25, right? $5 on each of those pictures. See which of those hooks gets the most click-throughs, kill the ads, and then start working on that hook and all of the ad variations and the ad copy, and then do your 5x3 campaign that I show in the liquidator with the proper funnel. Like a lot of times, like when I do, like whenever I'm testing stuff like with Brandon, we just had a landing page that had like a waiting list with name and email. Like we didn't care if they landed on the landing page or not. The whole purpose of the test was to see which of those images got the most scrolls, like stop the scroll and people clicking over to the landing page. So we only spent like $5 to like test to see which of those. It's like the rapid fire test. Like I think in our industry, I think like Kat Howell, like it's kind of a version of her rapid fire testing. to where you're just testing headline. You're just testing headline. That's it.
Hmm. So, Laurel, how long do I run it to test the 5?
I would run it for $5 on each like image, like just like, and write the same thing like in your ad copy. So like if you, well, I'll bring this back up. So let's say you are like doing all of these, right? Like, so you'll make an image that says this, but then the ad copy is going to say this, and that little headline that where people click is going to say this, right? Your image is going to say this, your little headline at the bottom is going to say this, and then your ad copy is going to say this. So we're simply just testing that one line, and we're just throwing $5 on each and just looking at the click-through rates and at the amount of people who are visiting the actual offer page, and then we shut them off.
For how long do I run it?
Just for $5. Once you spend $5.
Oh, okay, not $5 per day.
Yeah, no, not $5 a day. Just spend $5. Like if you want to do it in a day, you can, or if you want to do it over a period of 3 days. But we just do quick like click-through rates, and then we're like, okay, cool. More people clicked on this than anything. So let's build out all of the ads that are related to this hook, and then write the different ad copies, and then throw them in the 5x3 campaign.
Okay.
That's something that we do pre-funnel before we build a funnel. Like some of my ad clients, they come to me with a high ticket offer, and they're like, I don't know what to make my lead magnet. And I'm like, let's test 5 different lead magnets. And that's all we do. We don't build a lead magnet. We just build a stupid little one lander page with 5 different lead magnets, send ads to it, and see which ones more people like click over to get. And that's how we come up with a lead magnet.
Okay. Okay, nice. So I want to thank everyone. It has been a very, very helpful session for me. In fact, first day, and I think I have almost recovered my entire investment for this membership, premium membership. So
this is only the beginning. You're in good. I promise you're in good hands. Like we'll help you get this figured out. Dara, actually, I did an amazing interview with her earlier. Like she has a low ticket offer too, and she was able to scale this. So. But it all starts with it. Like Derek could probably, like you and her could talk offline sometime. I'm sure Derek could tell you all of the ways that she did to test her offer, because she came to the program. She already had her offer solidified.
Running. Okay.
Who else has something that they want to talk about? Amanda, I see your hand up. Oh no, were you just like?
No, I always have something to talk about. Trillion billion help all the time because I'm just beginning too. So so I'm a teacher. I teach technologies tools to teachers, and so my low ticket offer is a $10 workshop and mini course. So like basically 5 little mini lessons and a workshop. So I'm running testing ads, and I'm not doing 5 different images of copy. I made one single video of just a demo that's a minute long, and it's doing well. Like the CTR and the click-through rates are really good, but not purchases. So I'm playing with landing pages. I got your feedback about that. So I think I'm clear with my message. I just need to look at my offer, and what it just dawned on me is maybe the people having to look at the landing page and see a 1-hour workshop is like too much of a commitment. Maybe if I remove that element and just be 5 mini lesson videos without the live option.
What is it that you're teaching? Because I think you and Dara have a very like similar thing where she's like teaching people how to organize like their Google stuff, where you're teaching teachers how to, organize their and get over the tech stuff. What is that offer though? Like, what is that one line where a teacher's going to be like, I like need to buy this like right now?
Yes, the one line offer is take your PDFs that you purchased through Teachers Pay Teachers, which is a website. Teachers buy things that are PDF form, make them into digital form so students can access them on any device.
Oh,
that's my one line.
Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, that's way more clear than what the other day, because when I read your landing page the other day, I was like, I'm not quite sure what this is. So hopefully you're using that now, right?
It says how to take your PDFs from Teachers Pay Teachers to digital assets for $10.
I like that.
I listened to you. I did it.
That's awesome. No, that's what I like. I can't say that enough. Like this one line, like I know like Risha is going to go home and she go, oh my God, like what did I get myself into? But this right here is the one, like 80% of the ad battle, I promise you.
So I made a video that is a little catchy in the beginning to get people's attention about, have you spent so much on Teachers Pay Teachers? They've just leveled up and have this new tool. And then I do a little video demo of the tool. All of this in a minute. I don't know how I did it, but I did it all in a minute. And so the ads are running, but I'm just not getting conversions. And so I know teachers are busy, and my friends in the niche are telling me that teachers are exhausted, they're busy. How can they commit to a little mini course to learn? But it's a great tool, and not a lot of teachers know about it.
So also, and I think I had mentioned this somewhere too, like, you know, teachers want you to collapse time for them. That's super important. And so like, you literally, like, this tool will save them. Don't like think about how many hours this tool, if they use this tool, will save them from trying to do the PDFs to digital assets themselves.
Yes. So my ad copy on my landing page says, do not watch a YouTube video to learn how to use the tool that's 20 minutes of fluff with 2 minutes of content. I can teach you how to use easel in 5 short videos.
I like that. The only 5 videos you need to watch to learn how to do this in much less time.
Yes.
One of the lines on my website, on my sales page for my course is, this is not, you won't get the same kind of information out of YouTube tutorials. I'll find the wording for you. But it's the same idea. It's like basically dispelling the value of going to YouTube and trying to find that perfect video. Here, let me just.
That's one of my ad angles too, is like, don't spend hours on YouTube looking for how to place your first ad.
Yeah, mine says, this is not like any tutorial you'll find on YouTube. This is a comprehensive step-by-step fresh way of looking at the tools you've been underutilizing for years.
Love it. She just copied it for you into the
Oh, thank you. Don't have to write it down.
No, it's in the chat.
Yeah, so I think I'm on the right track. Like I'm a Google certified trainer, so I can teach on any Google tool. So building my catalog of mini courses and workshops is what my goal is, that are all around a $10 price point, building to a bigger product in the summer, like a teacher technology boot camp is what I'm looking for. So I'm just getting my ads out there.
That's cool. That's cool. Like a summer school for teachers kind of thing. Like, teachers is a great market. Like, I know a lot of people are like, well, teachers don't have money. I know a teacher who literally, she's out of New York. She is now a multi-millionaire selling all of her lesson plans for second graders. She literally took, because she's very creative at planning her lesson plans every single month. She just put them all into a Google Drive and is now, like, she quit her job as a teacher. And she's now a millionaire because she sold all of her second grade lesson plans.
Is this Anna?
No, this is not Anna. Wait, who's Anna?
More than one millionaire who did the same thing, and I think Anna's was second grade as well.
Oh, Anna DeGilio's her name. I know her. She's the Amy Porterfield student.
Yeah, and Stu McLaren. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Oh, there's more than one. Well, I guess it works.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. I think I've got my message. I know who I'm talking to. Like, I talk the talk. I was a classroom teacher. I'm the real deal. So it's just about getting the message out there and getting the right audience. So I'm looking forward to working on my ads to perfect where the ads are going to get the right person. So
awesome. Good call today, guys. I didn't see anyone else with their hand up. Arturo, how are you doing?
Sorry, I wasn't mute. I kind of have a question for you. Yes, I've been doing the promotion like we spoke before. I haven't done completely in the sequence that you recommend, but I've been having kind of success because I've been reaching out and getting few leads, but not that much. And also the other problem I'm having is when I try to reach out to them, they don't answer or they don't contact back. So I suppose that I'm not reaching the right audience in the.
So let's book some time on Thursday during office hour and come with everything that you have. That way we could actually look at what you have going, so that we could take a look at everything.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
What's up, Lisa?
I sent a note and I wasn't sure if I should schedule like an office hour. I think what I'm seeing is that with the 4 videos and the lead generation, we're not booking any more calls, or we booked a couple. There was like a no-show. And so I'm just kind of at one of those points where I'm like, is it worth it to do the videos or turn them off and just
let's on an office hour calls, because I kind of want to keep the Tuesday calls this one theme so that there's not all of these different, types of things. So today we're talking about like the offer.
Yeah.
So let's on Thursday, let's take a look at that, because I want to actually like troubleshoot your entire funnel just to kind of see like what if we're missing something, just so that I can take a look at everything at a glance.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, that is perfect.
1 second question for Dara. Dara, does your offer have a live component to it, or is it just videos?
So the low ticket offer is just, well, that's not quite true. On the sales page, which I do need to take down, I have these implementation sessions that I was running. I ran one of them so far. So there can be a live component, and I am thinking of coming at it from the workshop angle. So like the Justin and Sarah mini workshop magic angle, where, because one of the pain points of my clients is that they have a really cluttered Google Drive. And so the workshop that I have is like, let's go and declutter that Google Drive and set up a new system and slowly chip away. And that is part of my pre-recorded program. So there is a little bit of live component, but it's not there's not going to be a permanent, I mean, maybe there is, I don't know. Laurel and I talked about like the co-working idea. So I do like that, but it's not a fixed.
Yeah, I would pay Dara, like whenever, especially like before, like I started working with Dan, like one of my mentors, like my major problem was like, I just need to know how to organize this. If I'm trying to get these people to work with me, I told Dara, I was like, I think a 1 hour, whether it's like a one-on-one or something, to where you just like say like, Dara, this is what I'm trying to do. How should I organize my drives in order to accomplish this one thing? To me, that's like a no-brainer, because that's something that like seems so simple, but yet so hard to do. Because my Gmail, I don't even look at my email anymore, because I just can't, it gives me anxiety.
There's a better way.
I like poor Christina, like I'm like, I don't want to see the emails. I have her like from my agency clients. I'm like, can you just throw them in Slack for me? Because I don't even want to open up my email right now. Awesome. This was such a great call today. My gosh, like I just want to say thank you to everyone, because I love that on Tuesdays we get to just collaborate with each other and just, because it gives us time to really dissect the little things that I think we overlook with Facebook ads that could make such a big difference. And just like today, like that one sentence, right? That like that one offer can make such a huge difference on how your ads perform. So lots of good info here. And I appreciate everyone giving feedback and not being shy, and, just giving everyone feedback, and, no one being scared to, because sometimes on Tuesdays, I might take up some time on the call and be like, guys, what do you guys think of this? And I think that it's just a wonderful part of this program, to where it's not just me teaching at you guys, but actually being able to have really cool discussions like this and helping all of us just move forward. So I appreciate everyone's input.
This is really great.
I'm glad that you guys are loving this.
When is your
It's
dark?
definitely been very, sorry. Yeah.
What were you going to say, Risha?
I was just saying it for me, it definitely was very, and I like the support that I saw. And I think it's like, initially I was nervous that, oh my God, I have to rework on the entire wording, but the feedback has been like really, really good. So it's almost like running those 5 hooks for the public. I think I'm getting a feedback from the experts right here.
Exactly. Like you could probably like watch, and you don't have to do like the 5 different things. That's just how like like whenever we're completely starting from scratch, right? Like building a brand new sales page, building that. Like, of course, Amanda, like she already had like, her stuff built, and it just took a little bit of tweaking. So next week, that's actually a good question, Argentina. I think you were going to ask me about Dark Week, right?
Yeah, when are you going to come off?
So next week is really weird. So if you guys look like inside the, Talk to Laurel or live Zoom questions, you guys are going to see like my Dark Week kind of overlaps over the next 2 weeks. So I'll be here. I'll be Monday, right? So for those of you guys who don't know, like I'm going to be in the Bahamas working with Dan Henry. So I'm going to come back with a bunch of like value bombs, I'm pretty sure. I purchased one of his VIP days on his yacht, and so we're going to the Bahamas, so I'm going to be doing that. So Monday, so I'm leaving Tuesday, so so Dark Week's going to kind of be like 2 weeks. It's going to be, so I'm going to be, just look at the Google Calendar, but Monday I'm going to be here, and then Tuesday, Thursday is going to be the dark days, and then the following Monday is going to be the dark day, and then we'll be back the following week. But you guys aren't losing any calls or anything like that. We fixed it to where you guys are getting the same amount of calls and everything. Just make sure you're referencing the Google Calendar.
Okay.
That day is going to be a live session in the boat, so
Yeah.
we can go.
I don't even know if there's going to be internet out there, but he was really cool. He was like, don't come in any shoes. He's like, come in your flip flops and I'm going with one purpose and one purpose only, and it's to make a smoother transition between the $7 program and the premium program. Just that one clarity piece that's going to bridge the gap between the two programs. Because I love my premium program. I love the pricing. Like I love everything about it. I love the people that are coming in, and I love how small it is. And I want to keep it small. Where everyone's like scale, scale, scale. I'm actually trying to think of ways to make it smaller, right? So that we could have more of these sessions together and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing his feedback. He already knows my pricing, and because I was like, that was my first thing when I got on the phone with him. I was like, you're not gonna tell me to raise my price. He's like, well, I don't know. Tell me about what you got. And he's like, I think it's a brilliant model. He's like, I usually tell people to raise their price. He's like, but what you're trying to do is perfect. So he's just gonna help me like just bridge the gap between that $7 premium, because I still think there's a couple of bumps along the road of that transition, but and it's going to keep the premium program of higher, where everyone is really like, it's more of a mastermind and not baby step kind of program. So I'm super excited.
Laurel, last thing, your cheat sheet or your PDF or Photoshop files for those ads, you're going to share at least screenshots. I can easily copy them because they're great inspiration. Yeah,
I'm actually, I'll post it in the, let's see, I need to figure out where I can put that. I'll send out an email and let you guys know. We'll figure it out where to put in there. Cause I think that just you guys like having access to the files that I'm using, you guys can change colors, move things around and stuff like that. But I'll definitely make sure you guys have access to that Google Drive with all the, I'll even start throwing my ad scripts in there if you guys want to.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of just a creatives folder.
Yeah, because the other day I was listening to one of your trainings again, and you were dissecting your $7 ad copy, and I like pausing to like read it, and it's like, oh my God, I can actually just translate this into my own thing. And so your copy is really great to inspire to translate. At least for me, I found it very, very useful. So I would love to see more of your copy.
Absolutely. I'll make, like I said, I'll make a Google Drive folder. It'll have all my ad creatives that I'm using or that my assistant's making as well. I'll throw in all of my ad copies, like Google Doc copies and stuff. Then you guys can just kind of like have just whatever and use whatever you guys want. And I'll also make it to where like, if you guys have some ad copy that's like working and you're willing to share with the group, I can throw your ad copy in there too. Cause I know that, we can just like put together this like folder of ad copy that's working for people.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would, if anybody's interested, I would love to dump my copy there. If anybody can get inspired about it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
All right, so see you Thursday.
Absolutely. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye, guys.
Bye.